Welcome to Michigan International Speedway, where this has been one of the most fastest tracks in NASCAR history. Today, 36 drivers look to take on this track in the Irish Hills as we approach the playoffs. This is race 21 on the season, and after today, just 4 races will remain in the regular season. Qualifying proved to be a struggle for these guys. 3 cars spun in qualifying. The 9, 16, and 45 all spun during their qualifying laps. All of them in the same spot, turn 4, which has been the tricky spot on this racetrack. In the spring, it was chaos, but we hope that today we can at least fit some of this race in. We were under a 3-hour rain delay, which has pushed the start of this race back to 5 o'clock. Sunset being at 8:15 tonight here in Brooklyn, Michigan. So we hope we can get this race all the way through. Let's take a look at some of the drivers to watch for. William Byron on pole for the 4th time this year. It's been a breakout year for the 24 team, but just one win to show for it at Richmond. They think they should have had at least 3 or 4 wins by this point. He's been the most consistent driver this year, just not a lot of wins in the win column. Chris Buescher, he started 3rd last week in Atlanta. He'll start 3rd again today. The 17 team, they have a really fast car on the short run, and they hope to get that win to lock them into the playoffs. They know they're a long way behind, but last week at Atlanta, they had a great points day. They're hoping for a great points day today with a race win. Ross Chastain, he got the job done at Atlanta last week, but he also finished 4th in this race in the spring. He starts 10th today. The one car is one of the favorites, in fact, to win this race. Can Chastain win 3 of the last 5 races as well as going back-to-back? Chase Elliott, like I said before, he's spun in qualifying, so he'll start 34th. They don't feel like they have a good car in traffic, so they're going to hope to make adjustments under the competition caution, and they hope this race goes the full distance to figure out if that 9 car is suitable to run at the front and be a contender. Kurt Busch, he is not racing today due to a head injury he suffered in qualifying, but it is minor, so he hopes to be back in the car soon. Ty Gibbs is filling in for him today as Kurt got into the turn 4 wall hard with the left rear after the spin. Let's go trackside for the command.
To start engines, please welcome member of the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, Michigan State men's basketball coach Tom Izzo. And 2021 Big Ten Football Coach of the Year, Michigan State head football coach Mel Tucker.
Drivers, start your engines. Go.
And as the cars roll off the pit road, let's take a look at the starting lineup. In row 1, Hendrick teammates William Byron next to Kyle Larson. And in row 2, it's 2 Fords, Chris Buescher and Ryan Blaney, 2019 Series champion. In row 3, Joey Logano next to Kyle Busch. In row 4, Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell, Joe Gibbs teammates. In row 5, it's Tyler Reddick and Ross Chastain. In row 6, Martin Truex and Kevin Harvick. Row 7, Alex Bowman next to Bubba Wallace, who's had a good summer so far. In row 8, Chase Briscoe and Austin Cindric. Row 9, Daniel Suarez next to Eric Jones. And in row 10, it's Eric Almirola and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Row 11, Justin Haley and Corey LaJoie. And in row 12, Austin Dillon and Brad Keselowski. Row 13, Michael McDowell and Harrison Burton. And in row 14, Cole Custer and Todd Gilliland. Row 15, Ty Dillon and Landon Castle. And then behind them in row 16, Cody Ware and BJ McLeod. Row 17, Garrett Smithley and Chase Elliott. And then rounding out the field, row 18, Daniel Hemrick and Ty Gibbs. Race facts, 200 laps, 400 miles. Stage 1, 45 laps, stage 2, 75, and then an 80-lap sprint to the finish if we can get that far. Pit window, 40 to 45 laps, fastest track on the circuit. This is also the first time we've had 2 Michigan races in one season since 2020. Green flag, we're racing in the Irish Hills. Competition caution due to weather on lap 26. William Byron takes stage 1. Dominant performance by the 24 team. Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, and Chris Buescher snagging the top 5 at the end of stage 1. Here goes Busch for second on Larson, and around goes Ty Gibbs in turn 3. And the caution waves for the first time for incident today here in Michigan for the 45 of Ty Gibbs in his third career start. Looks like a right rear tire goes down, and Kurt Busch hit the wall in turn 4, which got him the head injury. But it doesn't hit the wall here, just spins up the racetrack, and Ty Gibbs will be able to grab 4 fresh tires and continue. Here comes Logano underneath Chastain, and hard on the wall goes Eric Almirola, and the caution is out with just 4 laps to go in stage 2. Watch the 10 of Almirola. That looks like a right front tire. Ty Gibbs had the right rear go down, but this looks like a right front on Eric Almirola. And this will end his day. He was at the playoff battle between him, of course, Eric Jones, and Tyler Reddick. But this will definitely hurt Almirola, as this is going to end his day. But the stage is going to end under caution with Byron, Blaney, Kyle Busch on the podium, along with guys like Chastain and Logano getting valuable points. And NASCAR has announced lap 180 is going to be the finish of this race due to the amount of daylight we have left. So this is huge. Strategy is going to be a factor, and what will guys do in order to win this race? Here comes Busch for the lead. Oh, Truex spins in turn 4, and that brings out the caution with 40 laps to go. And this is big as Martin Truex, look at the bobble right there, just got loose underneath Christopher Bell. He was running in 10th place right in front of Tyler Reddick. Watch the 19 just slide up the racetrack, and that's in turn 4. That's where we've seen the trouble spots this weekend in qualifying. But luckily, he will grab 4 fresh tires and get back in the race. Here comes Chastain to second. 2 cars around in turn 2. Caution waves. That's Ty Dillon and Cole Custer. The 41 and 42 have spun in turn 2. Looks like Cole Custer underneath Ty Dillon got loose, and then he spins his car out, and Ty Dillon able to spin up the racetrack. Minor contact with the wall. They're both going to continue. That time it was in turn 2. We've seen turn 4 be the problem, and this time it's the exit in turn 2, which got these 2 drivers. But it's going to be an interesting restart. William Byron dominates in Michigan. In a shortened race, he leads all but 13 laps, 11 of which led by Ross Chastain, 2 of them by Kyle Larson, and William Byron gets that second win of the season to prove that he's a championship threat. There's the 1 car. He got loose with 2 laps to go on the outside of the 24, as him and Chastain were just dead even for about a lap, and that time Chastain was on the top and got loose, and that cost him the win. But William Byron burns it down. His win fueled by Sunoco, fueling victories all season long. He gets the win. Chastain in second, could not get that 3rd win of the season. Buescher with a 6th place finish. He stayed in the top 10 all day. Reddick and Bubba Wallace getting big top 10s. Bubba, that's his, I believe, his 3rd top 10 of the year. As Chase Elliott could never really get back to the top 10. Logano fell back. Truex, a good rebound though. Bowman didn't have a good day. As we'll get to the 3rd page, and that's when we really see some of the guys who struggled today. Kevin Harvick was the big one, 23rd. Ty Gibbs, his worst finish of his career. He had 2 starts over this year. He finishes 25th today. Had that spin back in stage 2. And then Eric Almirola was the only car to DNF today, so that's going to hurt him in the point standings, which we'll get to in a minute. But let's take a look at the top 16. Right now, Larson's still on top. William Byron boosts himself to 3rd in the playoff standings and 3rd in the regular season standings. But yeah, not much change as you see Truex, Briscoe, Reddick able to pull away due to Kurt Busch not starting this race, and hopefully he'll be back soon. So there's Kurt, 51 points back. Jones, 62. Buescher all the way up to minus 88. So now he could mathematically points his way in if he can. But yeah, 22nd on back in points. You're looking at a must-win situation, whether it's at Indy or Daytona. Probably going to be your best chances. Yeah, third page, no chance at all. But speaking of Indianapolis, we got a doubleheader next weekend. The road course on Saturday and then the oval on Sunday. One of the most exciting races of the year, more like the weekend of the year. This is ASC signing off.